Welcome back to Pittsburgh Sports with Scooter. Scooter here. Hey, we're gonna do a Pirates video today. We're gonna talk about the Pirates and some numbers that lead me to believe that this truly is a playoff team. And you guys have finally started sending me questions every now and then, so I'm going to go ahead and try to answer a couple of them at the end of this video. But first off, let's talk about the Pirates and this playoff run they're in. I know I've done some videos where I've said, come on, the season's about over, let's go. Because it's depressing to watch a good team not have a better record. But when you look into some of the numbers, this thing could turn around very quickly. And the Pirates could go on a run. Offensively, they're ranked fifth in Major League Baseball. Fifth. They were last year. And I can't remember the exact numbers, but something like 118 teams that had a top 10 offense. Out of 118 teams, like 80 or 90 of them made the playoffs. And Pittsburgh's not 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. They're fifth in baseball. So the offense is not the issue. This offense is definitely good enough. It's the pitching. We all know that. We've all seen it. The relief pitching is a big problem. But I venture to say some of the reason that the bullpen has been such a problem is because the starters aren't doing their jobs very well right now either. I've harped on it and harped on it. Paul Skeens has not been the same Paul Skeens. His velocity's down. His rotation spin is down. His efficiency and his accuracy isn't the same. He just doesn't look like the same Paul Skeens. Yet he makes the All-Star team, but that's a whole different topic of conversation. Anyways, so offensively, numbers-wise, the Pirates are there. They're more than there. But the starters got to start pitching better, and that's Paul Skeens, that's Jared Jones, that's for sure Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller's been a real problem. Here's a veteran guy making decent money who in his past has logged tons of innings, and that's exactly what they need right now. They really need Mitch Keller to turn it around. He's got over a 5 ERA. I'm not asking for miracles, but get back to your normal, 4.20 ERA, get your 180 to 200 innings, and that helps not only the starting rotation, but tremendously helps the bullpen and keeps them from having to log so many innings. Because I think part of the problem is this bullpen is overtaxed. They're used way too much. Now the Pirates, it's kind of a two-edged sword because if you look at the numbers, the Pirates starting rotation actually is among the tops in innings logged. So that's kind of not the total issue, but it's part of it. And I said before, if you look back at into this bullpen, there are some strong arms in there. They're just not pitching up to their ability. Same with the starters. And that can all turn around, and that can all turn around very quickly because we've all seen it before. Someone like Paul Skeens, who's struggling a bit right now, sometimes it's just an arm angle, the way they're striding that just throws it off a little bit. And in the world of Major League Baseball, just a simple arm slot problem can cause a ton of issues. It'll be interesting tonight. Tonight is the night, I think, for Paul Skeens where he can turn this whole season around. And we can forget about all this. If he can come out tonight and put his foot down and shut the door on the Atlanta Braves. Paul Skeens, before the All-Star break, he has 2 home starts. Tonight, and then I believe the last game against the Milwaukee Brewers. If he can come out and have 2 Paul Skeens starts on this homestand, we could be done talking about this. It could change the whole scenario of the season. I said in another video, there's 6 home games that start tonight. These are 6 huge games. You could see the Pirates going 0-6, and we've seen it to where they could win 5 out of 6. And I'd be happy if they won 4 out of 6. That would be great. But it needs to start happening now. But it's not all doom and gloom. The Pirates are in a good spot. The Pirates have a legit offense. We just need the front office to help get some pitching in here. And I before, I would say a month ago, I wasn't concerned about bringing in another starter, but I think they have to. I think the Pittsburgh Pirates have to bring in a veteran right-handed starter to put in the 4 or 5 spot of this rotation. Now, that means somebody has to come out, and I know Jared Jones doesn't want to do it, but I believe Jared Jones needs to go to the bullpen for the rest of the season. He has legit stuff that would play huge out of the bullpen, I believe. And if you bring in a good right-handed starter and put him into this rotation, you're getting a 2-for-1 if you can put Jared Jones in the bullpen. I'm still a firm believer that Mitch Keller needs to go to the bullpen. I think that all the innings are catching up to Mitch Keller. I think he's got some arm fatigue going on, and I think if you put him in the bullpen and he only has to pitch an inning or two every few nights, every couple nights, I think you'll see the velocity back up. I think you'll see a much better Mitch Keller. But I don't think they'll do that. I think the answer will be Jared Jones if they bring in another starter. And the Pirates have been lucky. That starting rotation hasn't faced injuries this year. They've been pretty healthy. So that's where I'm at. Let's hope that the Pirates organization does something. It's hard right now because there's so many teams still in a playoff hunt. There's still so many teams that are going to want to be buyers and not sellers. And hopefully over the next few weeks before the trade deadline, a few of those teams will fall off, and it's not the Pirates, hopefully. And they can go and they can bolster this team. They've got the draft coming up this weekend. The Pirates have 6 picks in the first round. Pick number 5, and then I think pick number 34 is second. It wouldn't be like the Pirates to use one of those picks to make a trade, but man, the opportunity is there. If they want to bring in a big time bullpen piece, use that number 34 pick, package it with some kind of trade offer, and go out and get a killer in the bullpen. The potential's there. The time is now. Let's do it. Take a chance, Pirates. All right. I have a couple questions I'm going to try to answer here that people have asked me lately. One comes from Fishbrain5520. I don't know where you guys come up with these names, but I love it. Anyways, he asks me, why in the bleep is Marcell Ozuna still on this Pirates team? Well, I'll give you 13 million reasons why he's still on this team. That's the $13 million contract he signed for 1 year. Also, from just listening to what I hear, he's been a very huge presence in that dugout, especially with like your Dominican-born players, the Cruzes, the Valdezes, those types. He's really helped some of those guys. And I think that's another reason why they've stuck with Marcell Ozuna so long. But really, it's the $13 million. Do I think they're going to make a move? I think they have to. I think eventually they're going to eat this contract. They're probably going to have to DFA him because I don't think you're going to get anybody to take him. You're certainly not going to get anybody to take him to get anything legitimate back. You'd have to package him with a big prospect. Maybe that happens. I don't know. But I do think it will happen. But not to be disrespectful to Fishbrain, but who cares? Really, right now, who cares? The offense isn't the problem. Marcell Ozuna isn't the reason the Pirates are 1 game over 500. The offense hasn't been the problem. So to me, I don't really care about that. I'm more concerned with the pitching, the starting pitching, and the bullpen. But to answer your question, $13 million is the reason why he's still here. And I think some of it is the veteran leadership he's provided to some of the guys on this roster. So that's my answer to that question. I'm just looking over. There's a couple other questions here. Here's another one. Why is Jared Triolo playing every day? Why is he still in this lineup? Again, same answer, really. Who cares? Um, Jared Triolo's not the reason the Pirates are losing games. He's good defensively, and every now and then he shows flashes of offense, but he is not the problem right now. Um, you need a guy like that that can play multiple positions to spell guys. That's why he's still here at the moment. They really don't have much of a better option, anyways. But again, it's not offense that's the problem. It's the pitching. One more question. Here's a decent one, I guess. What do you or what when do sorry, let me start this over. What are the Pirates going to do at the trade deadline? Do you think the Pirates will do much of anything? This is a great question. I do think the Pirates will do something. The big problem right now is there's like 24 teams still in contention for a playoff spot. That doesn't leave a lot to work with. So I do think that number will shrink down before the trade deadline. I think there'll be some teams that'll fall out of this. Don't forget, there's a few teams that aren't that far back that could get themselves back into this, like the Detroit Tigers, let's say. But there's not a whole lot to choose from. And what there is to choose from, um, you're going to pay a pretty price to get anything right now because there's so many teams that want to make deals that think they're still in this thing. I do think the Pirates will do some tweaking, but if you're looking for a huge player, I don't think you're going to get that. I just don't think the Pirates are willing to overspend. They never have been before. Why would they be now? I know that's not what you want to hear, but I think that's the truth of it. Like I said, though, if they take one of those 6 picks, like a number 34 pick, and they add a good high prospect into that, then that could change that a little bit. I hear a lot of people talk about Chapman, but like Boston's only 4 games out. Is Boston willing to give up something like that if they still think they have a shot? I don't know. You'd have to blow their socks off, I'm pretty sure. So, man, thank you guys for finally sending in some questions. I hope I answered them. At least I answered them the best of my ability and what I think. Let's go, baby. This thing ain't over. Let's see what the organization does. Let's see what the team does. But this next couple weeks is vital. It's huge. The Pirates need to win some of these games and stay in this thing. So if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. It helps me out. And always, until next time, let's go Bucks.